Scotland, good morning, social media land. I hope you're well. It is Monday, the 21st of April, 2025. They're still at it, aren't they? Even in the face of polling evidence, even with Professor John Curtice showing them the analysis. Even when the poll shows a Holyrood representative of the entire independence movement, they still want you to believe both the votes SNP will deliver the Holyrood we need. I say bollocks to that. But what happens when those warnings are proven wrong? Not by theory, but by hard numbers. Two major polls, one from Find Out Now, analysed by Professor John Curtice, and the other from the Diffley Partnership, now show something undeniable. Tactical voting for pro-independence parties on the list is not only working, it's transforming the map of Scottish politics. The Greens and Alba are projected to win a combined 22 seats. That is not a sideshow. That is a powerful pro-independence opposition. That is the movement in action. So here's a question that some of the both votes SNP hardliners might want to answer. What are you so afraid of by having a Holyrood that is representative of the entire independence movement? I'll wait. Anyway, the result the polls predicted is a projected 79-seat pro-Scottish majority in Holyrood, 10 seats more than the SNP's iconic majority in 2011. But this time, it's not just one party carrying the load, it's the entire independence movement standing together, diverse, determined and driven by a unifying goal: independence. Unless, of course, you're a both votes SNP political hegemonist dinosaur stuck in the paradigm of politics that was based out of 2011. We're not theorising anymore. We are witnessing results. This is no longer about what we might achieve. It is about what we're achieving. And now we need to talk about what that really means for the movement, for the parties, and for Scotland's path to freedom. The data doesn't come from Party HQ spin. It comes from independent pollsters, respected analysts, and nationally representative sampling. Curtice analysis projects 57 seats for the SNP, a strong showing, but not enough for a majority on their own. So here's another question for both votes SNP folk. Why are you so enamoured about being lazy and voting on the list when we should be out there campaigning for the SNP in the constituencies? Why can't you think about getting 65 constituency seats? There are about 10 marginals out there. I am sure the entire movement would help push that forward. That majority of 79 seats is delivered by 15 Scottish Green MSPs and 7 from Alba. And that's remarkable, because voters, not politicians, created this result, because voters are learning, they're watching, and they're acting with purpose. They want independence, and they want the world to see Holyrood as a Scottish Parliament with Scottish parties representative of the people of Scotland. The funny thing is, all those people who have said they would vote Alba and the Greens on the list also said they would give the SNP their vote in the constituency. They are not your enemy. We are not your enemy. We are just more aware of the situation and do not subscribe to the single party politics of independence. In fact, we want to use politics as a tool to express our self-determination. Okay, let's remember what 2011 meant. The SNP secured an outright majority with 69 seats and used that platform to launch the 2014 referendum. It was a historic achievement. But what we're looking at now in the current polling isn't just a replication, it is an expansion. A majority of 79 pro-Scottish seats. That is 10 more than we have ever had. And the most important part, it's not centred around a single party. It is made up of representation of the entire movement. That is a profound shift in strategy, in representation, and in strength. This isn't about seats. It's about what those seats represent. And they represent a maturing movement, one that has grown past tribal loyalty. One that sees the bigger picture, one that understands that when we vote strategically, we build something stronger than any one party could ever do alone. SNP in the constituencies, Greens, Alba, ISP or pro-independence independents on the list. Of course, I expect the same old objections from the both vote hardliners, but now they don't just have to argue against strategy, they have to argue against results. I expect them to come back with excuses that dismiss this data, to say that Westminster will not listen to Holyrood with a diverse pro-independence representation. I say to them regarding this, where is your backbone? Where is your energy for gaining more than the SNP did in 2011? Where is your focus for independence? Or is it like what I've always said? It's only about the political hegemony of one party and not the national cause for you. Be careful, because you might just show your true colours. What we're seeing now isn't chaos, it's perfect clarity. A Holyrood with 79 pro-independence MSPs doesn't speak in one voice, it speaks with many, but all saying the same thing. Scotland deserves to choose its own future, and the beauty of that outcome is that it's not just symbolic, it's practical. It gives us more reach, more representation, more legitimacy, both at home and internationally. A parliament that includes the SNP, the Greens, Alba, ISP, and potentially pro-India independence is not a sign of division. It's the very definition of democratic strength. It proves that we can build consensus. It shows the world that we are not a single party movement. We are a nation rising through unity and strategy. This should be the moment we all take a breath, look around and realise this is working. This is the proof that we have been waiting for. The data showing us that when we vote with coordination and trust, we don't weaken the movement, we fortify it. This isn't about being right in an argument on social media, this is about winning something much, much bigger. So the next time someone tells you that voting for another pro-independence party on the list splits the vote, ask them this. If that's true, how did we end up with 10 more pro-Indy MSPs than the SNP achieved alone in 2011? How did we end up with the strongest projected pro-Scottish majority in Holyrood's history? And most importantly, what could we achieve if we went even further? If this is what we've done with the early waves of strategic voting, imagine what is possible in 2026 when a movement fully commits. A movement that leads with purpose, votes with clarity and speaks for all of Scotland, not just a party, but a people. What we need now is for the SNP to move away from the flawed strategy of both votes and understand how stupid they will look when their strategy is shown to be so very wrong in the 2026 election. I say this as a plea to them because I am also a member of the SNP. My friends, this is just the beginning. We can pull off the greatest democratic victory for Scotland and demonstrate clearly that this is the will of the Scottish people. Do not give up. Voting for Scotland will only ever do one thing: benefit Scotland.